Every financial guru on YouTube has a budgeting method. The 50-30-20 rule, zero-based budgeting, envelope stuffing, spreadsheet tracking, and they all have one thing in common: they fail. Not because the math is wrong, but because they rely on willpower. They ask you to track every latte, every grocery trip, every impulse buy, and then feel guilty when you slip. Here's the secret that the wealthy have known for centuries: the only budget that never fails is the one you don't have to follow. It's called Pay Yourself First, and it turns budgeting from a daily chore into a 10-minute monthly ritual that works on autopilot. If you stay until the end of this video, you'll learn exactly how to implement the Pay Yourself First method. I'll show you how to set it up in less than an hour, how to determine your Pay Yourself First number, and how to avoid the 3 mistakes that cause even this simple system to fail. By the time we're done, you'll never create another line item budget again, and you'll save more money than you ever have before. My name is your name, and today we're going to make budgeting effortless. Let me start with a story that will reframe everything you think about money management. A few years ago, a couple named Mike and Jen came to me in financial distress. They earned a combined $120 Zuzan a year, a solid income, but they were living paycheck to paycheck. They had tried every budgeting method. They used spreadsheets, they used apps, they tracked every dollar. They would do great for a week or two, then slip, then feel guilty, then give up. They were exhausted. I asked them a simple question: what if you didn't have to track anything? What if you just moved money out of your checking account before you could spend it, and then spent the rest guilt-free? They looked at me like I was crazy, but we tried it. We set up automatic transfers, $2,000 per month into their 401(n) ACE SEs and Roth IRAs, another $500 into a high-yield savings account for their emergency fund. That was it. The rest, about $500 per month after taxes and savings, was theirs to spend on anything. No questions asked, no tracking, no guilt. 6 months later, they had saved over $15,000 without feeling deprived. They told me, "We didn't change our spending habits, we just changed our saving habits. The money was gone before we could waste it." That's the Pay Yourself First method. It's not a budget, it's a commitment to your future self. You decide how much you need to save to reach your goals. You automate that amount to come out of your paycheck or checking account on the day you get paid. Then you live on the rest, guilt-free, without tracking a single expense. The wealthy have used this method for generations because it works. It's simple, it's automatic, and it removes the need for willpower. Why traditional budgets fail: the psychology of deprivation. Most budgets fail for one simple reason. They require you to say no to yourself hundreds of times a day. No to the coffee, no to the lunch out, no to the Amazon purchase, no to the weekend trip. Each no is a tiny act of willpower, and willpower is a finite resource. By the end of the day, you're exhausted. By the end of the week, you've broken your budget. Then you feel guilty. Then you give up. That's not a character flaw. That's human nature. The Pay Yourself First method flips the script. You say yes to your savings goals once at the beginning of the month. You automate the transfer. Then you never have to think about saving again. Every other dollar in your checking account is yours to spend without guilt. You don't need to track where it goes. You don't need to categorize your spending. You just need to make sure you don't overdraft. That's it. The mental load of budgeting drops from daily to monthly. Asterisk, the Pay Yourself First formula: how much should you save? The first question everyone asks is, how much do I need to pay myself first? The answer depends on your goals. But let me give you a simple starting point: 20% of your gross income. If you earn $60,000, That's $12,000 per year, $1,000 per month. If that sounds impossible, start with 10% or even 5%. The key is to start. You can increase your savings rate by 1% every few months. The 1% increment method I've talked about in other videos works perfectly here. But let me give you a more precise formula. First, calculate your retirement goal. The rule of thumb is to save 15% of your income for retirement. That includes your 401(n) contributions, IRA contributions, and any HSA contributions invested for retirement. If your employer matches, that's a bonus, but don't count it towards your 15%, that's extra. Second, add short-term savings goals. Emergency fund, house down payment, car fund, vacation fund. These might be another 5–10%. Total, 20–25% of your income. That's your pay yourself first number. If you can't hit 20%, don't despair. Start with 10%. Increase by 1% every time you get a raise. You'll be surprised how quickly it adds up. How to set up Pay Yourself First in 1 hour. Asterisk. Here's your step-by-step implementation guide. Step 1. Calculate your Pay Yourself First number. Let's say you $5,000 per month after taxes. You decide to save $1,000 per month, 20. That's your number. Step 2. Decide where the money goes. The priority order is 401(n) up to the match, then Roth IRA, then HSA, if eligible, then back to 401(n), then taxable brokerage. For simplicity, many people just increase their 401(n) contribution by 10 to 15% and call it done. That's fine. Step 3. Automate. For your 401(n), log into your employer's portal and increase your contribution percentage. Do it right now. For your IRA, set up an automatic monthly transfer from your checking account to your Roth IRA on the day after your paycheck arrives. For your savings account, set up a separate automatic transfer to a high-yield savings account. Step 4. Create a spending account. Your checking account is now your spending account. After your automated transfers, whatever is left is yours to spend without guilt. Do not track it. Do not categorize it. Just spend it on what you need and want. Step 5. If you have trouble making ends meet with the remaining money, you have two choices. Increase your income or reduce your fixed expenses. Do not reduce your savings. The savings are not negotiable. Cut your rent, your car payment, or your subscriptions. Those are the real drains. The 3 mistakes that ruin Pay Yourself First and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1, not automating. Some people think they can manually transfer money to savings at the end of the month. That never works. The money will be spent. You must automate. Set up the transfers on the same day you get paid before you see the money. If you never see it, you never miss it. Mistake number 2, saving too little. If you save only 5% of your income, you'll never reach your goals. You'll feel like the system isn't working and you'll give up. Calculate your real number. If you can't hit 15–20%, find a way to increase your income or cut fixed expenses. But don't settle for 5%. Mistake number 3, using the leftover money for debt payments. If you have high-interest credit card debt, you need to prioritize that. But the Pay Yourself First method still works. Treat debt payoff as a savings goal. Automate an extra payment to your credit card on payday. Then the remaining money is for spending. The same principle applies. Pay yourself first, even if your self is your future debt-free self. From zero savings to $1,000 a month. Let me give you a real example. A viewer named Rachel was 28 years old, earning $50,000 a year. She had no savings. She thought she couldn't afford to save. We set up Pay Yourself First. She increased her 401(n) contribution from 3% to 10%. That's $5,000 per year, or about $400 per month pre-tax. Her take-home pay dropped by about $300 per month. She cut her dining out from $300 to $200 and canceled unused subscriptions. 50. She didn't feel deprived. After 6 months, she had $2,500 in her 401a, more than she had saved in her entire life. She told me, "I didn't even notice the money was gone. It just happened automatically." 2 years later, she increased her contribution to 15% and opened a Roth IRA with a $200 monthly auto transfer. She's now on track to retire a millionaire, and she never created a budget. She never tracked a single expense. She just paid herself first. The spending account. Freedom without guilt. The beauty of Pay Yourself First is that once you've automated your savings, you have zero guilt about spending the rest. That $200 dinner out, if it's in your spending account, it's fine. That weekend trip, fine. That new gadget, fine. You've already taken care of your future. The rest is for now. This eliminates the most common reason budgets fail, the feeling of deprivation. When you say no to yourself all day, you feel deprived. When you say yes to your savings once a month, you feel empowered, and the money you spend feels guilt-free because you know you've already done the right thing. Asterisk, how to handle irregular income for freelancers and gig workers. If you have irregular income, Pay Yourself First is even more important, but you need a different approach. Here's what works. First, calculate your average monthly income over the last 12 months. Second, choose a Pay Yourself First percentage, say 20%. Third, each month when you receive income, immediately transfer 20% to your savings and investment accounts. The remaining 80% is for spending. In high-income months, you save more. In low-income months, you save less. But you always save something. This removes the anxiety of feast or famine cycles. A freelance designer named Carlos used this method. He would get a $5,000 payment and immediately transfer $1,000 to his savings. Then he'd spend the rest on rent, bills, and living. Over 2 years, he saved $25,000, enough for a down payment on a house. He told me the automatic transfer made it painless. If I had to decide how much to save each time, I would have spent it all. The Pay Yourself First number for different goals. Let me give you a table you can screenshot. For retirement only, aim for 15% of gross income. For retirement plus emergency fund, 6 months, aim for 18 to 20%. For retirement plus house down payment in 5 years, aim for 20-25%. For early retirement, age 50, aim for 30 to 40%. For financial independence, any age, aim for 50% or more. The higher your savings rate, the faster you reach freedom. But start where you are. 10% is infinitely better than 0%. Asterisk, how to increase your Pay Yourself First rate over time. The 1% increment method is your friend. Every 3 months, increase your 401n contribution by 1%. Every time you get a raise, increase your savings rate by half of the raise percentage. Every time you pay off a debt, redirect that payment to savings. Over a few years, you can go from 5% to 20% without feeling a pinch. This is how the wealthy build wealth, not by earning more, but by saving more of what they earn. A cautionary tale, why Pay Yourself First is not a license to overspend. Asterisk. I need to add one important caveat. Pay Yourself First works only if you are not accumulating high-interest debt. If you automate your savings, but then put $500 on a credit card every month because your spending account is empty, you're not winning. You're losing. The solution is to monitor your spending account balance. If it runs out before the end of the month, you have 2 choices: earn more or spend less. But do not touch the savings. The savings are sacred. If you consistently run out, you need to look at your fixed expenses. Rent, car payment, insurance, those are the real drains. Asterisk, the 50-30-20 rule versus Pay Yourself First, a comparison. The popular 50-30-20 budget says spend 50% on needs 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. That's a fine guideline, but it still requires tracking. You have to know what's a need versus a want. Pay yourself first is simpler. Save 20% automatically, then spend the rest on whatever you want, no categories needed. For most people, the simplicity leads to better compliance. Your action plan: do this today. Here's what you need to do right after this video. Step 1. Calculate your pay yourself first number. Use 15% of gross income as a starting point. For $60,000 income, that's $9,000 per year, $750 per month. Step 2. Decide on your savings order. At minimum, contribute enough to your 401(a) to get the full employer match. Then open a Roth IRA and set up automatic transfers. Step 3. Log into your 401(a) portal. Increase your contribution by 2% today. Yes, right now. Step 4. Open a Roth IRA if you don't have one. Use Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. Set up an automatic monthly transfer of $100, $200, or whatever you can afford. Link it to your checking account. Step 5. If you have short-term savings goals, open a high-yield savings account and set up an automatic transfer on payday. Use a separate bank to make it harder to access. Step 6. Delete any budgeting apps that require you to track daily spending. You no longer need them. Step 7. Commit to not lowering your savings rate for any reason other than a true emergency. Treat it like a bill. It's not optional. Step 8. Comment below. I'm paying myself first, starting at %. Tell me your percentage. I'll reply to the first 100 comments. If this video freed you from the tyranny of budgeting, hit the like button. It helps others discover the simple path. Subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to invest in art, whiskey, and watches, alternative assets that have beaten the S&P 500. The wealthy don't budget. They pay themselves first. You can too. Start today. I'll see you in the next video.